Recently, Venezuela announced that it will resume accepting deportation flights from the United States. This development comes after a temporary suspension initiated by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro earlier this month. The news was officially shared by Jorge Rodriguez, the president of Venezuela's National Assembly and chief negotiator with the U.S., who stated that an initial flight is expected as soon as Sunday. What are we talking about here, in essence? We're looking at an agreement between the Venezuelan government and the U.S. regarding the repatriation of Venezuelan migrants who have been deported from America. Rodriguez emphasized that this deal would ensure the return of our compatriots to their nation, with the safeguard of their human rights. This is significant because it highlights a shift in policy for Maduro's regime and indicates an attempt to address migration issues head-on. The relevance of this situation cannot be understated. Deportation flights back to countries like Venezuela are part of broader immigration and border control strategies employed by various administrations in the U.S., as immigration continues to be a contentious issue across America. How countries respond to repatriations plays into larger discussions about human rights and international cooperation. Opinions on this matter vary widely. According to Zach LaChance from Washington Examiner, Maduro criticized recent deportation efforts carried out by former President Donald Trump, particularly focusing on those linked to gang activities being sent to El Salvador. Conversely, Anders Hagstrom at Fox News pointed out that while Maduro claims responsibility for these nationals, whom he referred to as kidnapped, the situation has deep roots tied to America's prior relationships with Venezuela during better diplomatic times before Hugo Chávez's ascent into power. Looking at potential impacts, resuming these deportation flights might affect both nations significantly. For Venezuela, there's an implication of sovereignty and perhaps restoring some semblance of order regarding its citizens abroad, a step toward showing control over its national narrative amid ongoing crises within its borders. Historically speaking, relations between Venezuela and the United States have fluctuated immensely since Hugo Chávez's elections in 1998 and 2000. And his allies due largely to oil trade partnerships. Tensions arose as Chávez introduced socialist policies, which shifted foreign relations dramatically under his leadership, a trend continued under Maduro's presidency. In terms of a bigger picture perspective, any nuances need highlighting in such situations. The complexities surrounding immigration laws often overlook individual circumstances faced by returning migrants, especially those fleeing violence or hardship back home, and how each country's political climate can shape these responses. In conclusion, while the announcement regarding resumed deportations may seem straightforward on paper, repatriating individuals deemed unwanted in one country back home, the implications run deeper than mere logistics or policies. They touch on human dignity, national pride, and even geopolitical dynamics. Monitoring how this situation unfolds will not only reflect on Venezuela, but could also influence global conversations around immigration moving forward.